Hare Krishna page. So, Pulastya Muni. We heard about Pulastya Muni and Giriraja, that pastime. And now, we'll continue. Elderly Vaishnavas profess that in their youth, Govardhana was taller than he is now. And it is said that at the time of Krishna's Leela, Giriraj's afternoon shadow reached all the way to Mathura. Some Vaishnavas assert that this incident took place during a previous day of Brahma. And although Pulastya's curse still prevails from that previous kalpa, in this age Giriraja appeared by different means. Scriptural evidence suggests, they say, that Giriraja appeared in Vrindavana during the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, while his monkey devotees were building a stone bridge to Lanka. The monkeys were collecting boulders from everywhere, but Hanuman was so strong that he was collecting whole mountains, an undertaking that had taken him as far as the Himalayas. When Hanuman saw the opulences of Giriraj, he thought, this mountain will make a superb addition to the Lord's stone bridge. But as hard as Hanuman tried, he could not lift Govardhana. After Hanuman's repeated attempts to lift Govardhana had failed, he concluded that the mountain was a divine being with supernatural powers. Thus, Hanuman bowed before the mountain to offer prayers. Hanuman explained Lord Rama's need for a bridge, and when Govardhana understood that he was to be engaged in the Lord's service, he at once flew onto Hanuman's hand, eager to go to Lanka. As divine fate would have it, however, as Hanuman was flying over Vrindavana, the loud sounds of conch shells blowing announced the completion of Lord Rama's bridge. No more stones were needed. Eager to lead the monkeys to war, Hanuman impulsively dropped Govardhana from a great height. When the mountain hit the ground, his outer surface broke into rocks of all sizes, from pebbles to boulders. Govardhana Hill was very angry that Hanuman would not take him to serve Lord Ramachandra. But the great monkey sage pacified his newfound devotee friend by making a prediction. He said, because you are so eager for divine service, when the Lord appears in the next age as a cowherd boy in Braja, you will become an umbrella to protect him and his kinsman from Indra's wrath. These tidings pacified Govardhana, and as Hanuman flew south to Lanka, Giriraja settled into his new residence in Vrindavana to patiently await Krishna's future appearance and boyhood pastimes. When Hanumanji finally returned to Ramachandra and narrated the story of his meeting with Govardhana Hill, the Lord further elaborated on the glories of his foremost servant. Lord Ramachandra said, not only will I lift Govardhana Hill with my hand, but I shall make him the playground of my youth. Pointing to the stone bridge before him, the Lord continued, the inscription of my name and impressions of my feet will liberate these stones. But my pastimes of herding cows playing with friends, and dancing with gopis will make Giriraja taste ecstasies of prema. Thus, the Adivaraha Purana says that by Hanumanji's intervention and the blessing of Lord Ramachandra, Govardhana Hill became a resident of Raja and Krishna's indispensable pleasure playground. These sacred stories of Govardhanas appear in this world, and his coming to Vraja, when heard with faith, purify a person of the most heinous sins and bestow the most illustrious liberation. O revered Vaishnavas, humbly I beg you to make Govardhana Hill your Guru, your worshipable deity, object of meditation, only shelter, and ultimate destination. Your life will then know divine perfection. As promised, let us now hear the third pastime mentioned, which is a great favorite of devotees. The story of how Krishna held Giriraja aloof to protect the Vrajavasis from a deluge sent by Indra. One of the reasons Krishna provoked Indra's wrath was to inaugurate an annual festival known as Govardhana Puja. It's so interesting, dear devotees, how these pastimes how these pastimes are primarily meant for Bhagavan's joy, Bhagavan's enjoyment. So because the Lord wanted Govardhana Puja, he provoked Indra with that Leela of sending the Samvartaka clouds. Because Bhagavan wanted to enjoy his pastimes with his dear devotees under the Govardhana hill. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. So what happens in our life is, it's Lord Krishna's orchestration primarily to get us closer to him, in order to get us closer to him, to be with him, to stay with him. That is his primary reason behind his orchestration with us. And a part of that orchestration, then offshoots of other things might happen, which are like Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundari, Nasundari Kavita. Because the Lord wants us to be with him happily and to serve him lovingly. He orchestrates the rest of the things in a way which we may see as challenges and troubles. But when they are seen as the part of Lord's arrangement, then we happily embrace Lord's arrangement, because his primary reason for the whole orchestration is to get us closer to him, to be with him, joyfully, lovingly offering the service. So, one of the reasons Krishna provoked Indra's wrath was to inaugurate an annual festival known as Govardhana Puja, a festival so important that the Lord ordered all devotees to observe it with care every year. To depend on the cows and Govardhana hill, just as the Vrajavasis in Vrindavana did 500 years ago, is one of the goals of new Vrajadama. This is about new Vrajadama. And please attentively study and follow the rituals involved in Govardhan Puja, so that the observance of this festival may be ingrained in the traditions of Krishna Valley and Hungarian Yatra. This is Shivram Swami speaking to his disciples there. Here is a mere glimpse of the glories of Govardhana Puja. Those who observe it are blessed with wealth, auspiciousness, and happiness. Those who neglect it are cursed with poverty, blindness, and old age. Let this narration of the sacrifice performed by Krishna's greatest servants begin. And may the Vaishnavas be pleased with my attempt to pour the nectar of our Acharyas' teachings into their hearts. And that's Shivaras. So that's about Giriraj Govardhana. And the interesting point here is, there is Falashruti for each thing. For hearing specific things in Shastra, and here the Falashruti is. Those who observe it are blessed with wealth, auspicious, and happiness. Those who neglect it are cursed with poverty, blindness, and old age. Like, why? Why that kind of cursing? If Govardhana Puja is not observed, the whole point behind this Shastra, what the Shastra is trying to convey is, when we are respecting Giriraj Govardhana as dear servant of the Lord, so eagerly serving Krishna, when we are respecting and honoring him like that, that mood itself is auspicious and softens our heart. And when that respect and honor is not there for a devotee who is serving the Lord, the heart becomes hard, and which means tamoguna and rajaguna, right? What would these lower modes cause? They just cause whatever the curses are. The physical pain, the mental pain, So that's why the curses here are poverty, blindness, old age, like that. And Vedic scriptures, for every story there is a Palashruti. But the bottom line understanding is that. So that's about Giriraj Govardhana Katha. And we will hear something different tomorrow about Deepavali Kartika. Okay. So we'll pause here. गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय, गिरिधारी कृष्ण की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे